Hey everybody, we are back and we are excited to share another video with you. First off, thank you for all of the hits that we've had this week as we have launched R116 Ministries. It's just been overwhelming, the response, and so first we want to say thank you for all the traffic that we have been getting. Today we want to talk about communication, and we're not going to just really have an expository lesson on a passage of scripture. This is going to be extremely practical. Communication is really important in every single relationship. In fact, as we started our relationship, in our dating relationship, it's hard to believe that we ever had a second date.
Yeah.
And why is that?
Oh.
What was our first date like?
Our first date was basically a competition of who could prove to the other person how amazingly spiritual they were.
That's right, and she won, but she still married me. But communication is one of those things that even as we were dating, we didn't always know what to talk about, and communication was difficult. And sometimes even that first date and dates after that, we were communicating facts. Well, there are a lot of different levels of communication, and when you look at communication, it's really comprised of three different areas. There is the nonverbal communication, there is content, and there is tone. And a lot of times we focus on the content. We say, well, don't you remember me saying this to you? I mean, we had that conversation this morning. You were saying, hey, I thought about what you said, and I'd already forgotten that I even asked the question.
You moved on.
Moved way on, and nonetheless, you helped me know what
I was brewing, and I was
formulating
a answer.
There you go. And so she helped me this morning answer the question that evidently I asked of what I could do to help her more around the house, especially during this season of transition as we're getting R116 Ministries launched. So there is content, and that's most oftentimes what we focus on. But did you know that in all of communication, all 100% that comprises communication, only 7% of communication is actually content? The nonverbal and all of those things are the most important aspects of communication. And so communication is something that we've gone to marital counseling for to help us improve in our communication. And what are some of the things that we learned in marital counseling?
Oh, I'm supposed to remember. Just kidding. I remember. To be clear, concise, and concrete.
Yeah.
I remembered. I learned something.
Because it was impactful, because it was one of those aha moments.
Yes.
And we would go to marital counseling, and on our way there, every single time, what question would we ask?
What are we going to talk about today?
Because we thought, well, we're good. And so we didn't know that we had...
One of us thought we were good.
No, I thought it was great. I just thought you were having a difficult time understanding my incredible communication. So this is something that, even though our marriage has been good, we've wanted our marriage to be better, and communication is key in that. And communication, you really have to understand that before you can appropriately even address and work through conflict, which, as we've said before, even in our intro video, I've given my wife a lot to work through when it comes to conflict. That's just kind of me. She's the steady Eddie, I'm the spastic Colin, and God brought us together, and so we help balance each other out. But why don't you tell them a tool that we use that's been helpful?
Okay. Well, these right here, it's called the Ungainly. And when we were in counseling, our counselor suggested that we have a regular date night a week, which sounds great in theory, but in reality of raising 6 kids with activities and then church activities and just school and homework, there's really not a good night of the week to where we could be consistent in that. Fortunately, during this time...
Well, and it's expensive.
And it's expensive because now we don't have to get a sitter anymore because...
We just leave our children at home.
We just leave them at home and lock the door and throw out some food. No, just kidding. We have older kids, and so it's nice to where they can all take care of themselves. But what we did was, at that time, we had kids, finally had kids in preschool all the way up to middle school. So we took advantage of day dates. And every Wednesday or Thursday, we would meet for lunch. And during this time, we wanted to really have like a good conversation, not just, hey, how are you doing? Let's just talk shop. Like, we're going here, I'm going there. Which we did do that. We did talk about logistics. We communicated logistics. But we also used these called the Ungainly. And basically they're just, this is the family version.
This is the
couples version. And we use these to start conversation. So, I'm going to take a gamble and we're just going to answer the first one. I hope it's not embarrassing.
That one.
Oh my goodness. This really is not planned. How do you feel about the way you and your mate spend weekends? We spend them.
Yeah, we spend them in activities.
Yes.
And chasing ourselves. But on Fridays, we've always had the fantastically fabulous family fun Friday nights in our home. And it's typically pizza and a movie or a football game and pizza. But, you know, when we've had...
Going to a game, not watching it on TV because I would be gone. And
yeah, we go to support high school football, our local teams. And, you know, even if we've been in a season, you know, unlike this one where income now is a little tighter, then we just go and get the take and bake pizzas, and, you know, or we get pizzas at Kroger or Vons that, well, not Kroger here, but Vons here, that you just pop in the oven. And then other times we've gone to Toppers and we've gone to pizza places and
splurged.
We've splurged, but it doesn't have to be expensive.
No.
But on the weekends, I love it because we are together as a family, and that's sacred and that's valuable time.
And the kids look forward to it as well. They expect it. It's routine. So yeah, that's how we spend our weekends. So all that to say, we would pull one of these cards out and we would talk about it during our lunch, and that would spark conversation. Yeah.
So there's the end game. We started with the couples, and then we thought, well, this works really good for communication between Allison and I. And then we purchased the Ungainly for families.
There's a family version.
And this one's not open because I gave our other set away, but these are our 88 great conversation starters for husbands and wives, and so this is another tool. But you can use like the Ungainly for Christians. You can use the Ungainly if you're in a dating relationship and you find that you're just talking about facts and you're like, man, I don't even know what questions to ask to really get to know the other individual. We just spend a lot of time together. But remember, quantity of time doesn't equate to quality of time. So we want to encourage you to have quality of time, and that's truly getting to know each other. And we need help knowing what questions to ask one another so that we can discover and go deeper in our relationship with each other. So like I said, this is very practical. God demonstrated His love for us. He stepped out of heaven. He came to earth. He communicated. He dwelt among us. So communication is very important to God. He communicates to us every day through prayer, and He desires to get to know us better. And He desires for us to get to know one another better in our marriage, in our dating relationships, whatever the relationships are that we are in. So I hope this was helpful. We will continue to post videos, continue to like the videos and share them to all of your spheres of influence, and we will just continue to do this thing together. So we love you. Have a great day, and we will talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Almost done.
Yeah, let's do